Hey everybody, it's Speed Bump time.
Whoa, it's that show.
Horizon Zan has had a heap of progress, just an unbelievable amount of stuff going on last week.
After a while, you start to feel bad for some of these games. Like, the things that happen to them are almost unfortunate.
The speedrun world record before we started this thing was,
47, 37, something like that?
yeah, that's right.
47?
We've knocked 9 minutes off of it, roughly.
Nine brief minutes.
It looked pretty
Weren't doing
good.
anything with them.
The record we watched, I mean, it was a pretty good run, 47 minutes. It was pretty solid. 9 minutes. It seems like this here. They were talking about getting under 40 minutes. Gene Genie and Finn Cambu have been fighting for this, and they've been the ones competing mostly. And they were trying to get under 40 minutes, and this one was. It seemed like a lot of good stuff happened in this run. Just the good enemy movement is a big part of this, I think, because
Yeah.
it's a fighting game, and if they don't do what you want, you could just lose time. So it's been tough. It seems like.
Yeah, it's a huge balance of, like, picking the right times to use your hustle time, using the right attacks against certain enemies, conserving certain resources for the right times. I mean, I think it's been worked and reworked at this point, and most of the major random sections or luck-based sections have been. This run has a lot of really good stuff in it, from what I'm understanding. So
Yeah, this one has held for a pretty long time at this point. It seems like it's going to be tough to beat this one. I'm not sure that it's going to be the world record in 2 weeks. We have 2 weeks left, folks. If you're still looking to beat this, we are going to watch the run right now because it's here. It's ready to watch. It's 38 minutes of good stuff, and I get to hear Rising Zan's theme song at least once, probably. Let me get it up and running. Let's start.
yeah, I'm excited to watch this run. I haven't seen it yet. This is relatively new as well. When was this run done?
I feel like it was done Friday, maybe Friday. That sounds right. Friday
3
or
days ago is
Saturday.
what it says.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I saw it go up. Here it is. So we have some game audio I'm going to be using here. I'm going to try and turn it up as much as I can, but it's not that loud, the source, but I definitely want it. I think that's what we got. You know what? I think I can amplify it real quick with a filter. I don't usually use the audio gain, but I will. Gonna give it a little boost for you folks. How's that?
Trying new things out here.
Yeah. So we've already started. I'm gonna start a clock here just so we have an idea. I'm a little late already though. I'm just gonna put it at 30 seconds now and start it.
Yeah, this run seems to, I mean, at its best, really comes down to having a memorized, consistent strategy for every single type of enemy you can encounter, and a lot of that really does come down to the combos. So, a lot of really good use of the combos for crowd control, a lot of really good use of the combos for dealing large amounts of damage without opening yourself up to sort of being interrupted.
Yeah. A bigger game on screen. There you go. I've cropped it.
The biggest game possible.
Just about.
We're here watching Izing Zan right now.
So, I'm not terribly familiar with every trick they've been doing. I've seen a lot of discussion about many things, and they've been using states to do levels one at a time to really get them down. I've seen that.
Yeah, there's been a lot of work on individual stages, which is really kind of an important key to optimizing any run, is breaking it down into small pieces. You know, nobody memorizes a whole game at once. You really just try to break it down, and I think they've been working really hard. I've definitely seen a lot of discussion on your Discord server and the Speed Bump channel about how to approach certain challenges. So I know that at least Finn and Genie have been working really hard to
Yeah.
get this consistent.
I think one of the things that you should pay attention to here that really is a big deal is the way they attack each enemy. The combo that they decide to use, it's a spin attack or not. There was discussion that blowing this bomb up in your face saves a couple of frames instead of throwing it, just letting the bar go down. Very minimal time save there, so measuring that, it seems like self-detonation is better. So there's things like that going on too. It's really mapped out at this point. There's a really solid bunch of runs that have been happening in the last day or two.
It's just interesting how polished this looks compared to the old world record, compared to, you know, just the race that we saw last week even.
Yeah. That's boss 1. Obviously here you don't want to do too much, I don't think. Because it's going to count down your score, so it's one of those cases where you want no score at all, if you can help it, right? So we're going to see a lot of weeks. Week is good.
Yeah, it probably doesn't cost anything in terms of gameplay to just fail the event, and then you spend less time in the actual menu afterwards.
I don't think it does. I think there are unlocks, but you don't care about those right now, obviously, so we're just looking to beat the game with Rising Sand.
So the second level was that escort quest, right? This one gave everyone a lot of trouble. I'm really interested in seeing how quickly this happens.
I've seen this one. Definitely just destroy this thing in an instant. That's the goal here. Just destruction of this escort that you have to kill. You have
that's
to buy...
a neat idea. Oh, I like that. Actually, moving toward where it is so that the crowd control also deals some damage. That's really great.
Yeah. What we have here is it's a walking bomb of some kind. You have to kill it. It's only vulnerable when it's not red. And if you don't kill the escort stuff, a barrier stops you from moving forward. So you do have to attack those at some point. But with hustle time here, I think this boss dies right now when you don't have to deal with any. 94 seconds left on the clock. That's level 2.
That's incredible.
So that's really good pace for that level. That was barely even a level, and I've seen people in the chat right now are afraid of this stage. But I mean, that's all it is. You can really get that level done fast.
I mean, that level's tough, so getting that done by just the third encounter or whatever.
Yeah.
It only gets more obnoxious as you go on because the game starts to spawn those fire-breathing guys, and those take forever to kill. So killing, finishing the level without actually having to kill any of them is pretty significant.
I'm gonna take a look at the Discord notes so I can see some of these strats that are going into this. I had been reading the discussion, but I'm gonna get a review on it. There is a parry move. I don't think it's any good at all. I don't think we're gonna see it much. I was wondering about that. I don't think it's in the run at all, really. Like, you can reflect these orbs, but just using gun is faster, it seems like.
Yeah, it was pretty obvious to see that that was the case even when I played it casually, that the reflect move was mostly pointless. Even if you don't use the combo in order to fire your gun faster, even if you just fire at this sort of normal slow rate, that's still better damage than reflecting anything.
I know one of the things that both the runners that are doing this so far, I'd love to see more competition. These two are really good at this game now, though. One of the things they've seem to be talking about a lot as a struggle is baseball, the baseball section, and the slots. I think those are both in the same level, and they're both tough to control.
And right at the end, which is really the best place for something that's difficult to mitigate in the run.
Yeah, it's in like level 7 or 8 out of 9. I don't remember exactly where, but we'll see it soon. And with a time like this, I'm imagining that it went pretty well. But if there's mistakes in this run, that's the first level I'm going to look at for them, because that part seemed like a good time save from even though the world record we were watching the other time.
So you beat this. Are the slots actually random, or is it timing it to stop at the right time?
I did beat it. I don't know. I don't remember. I feel like there's timing based. Like you can stop them where you want if you're good at slots. I don't feel like it's random. Yeah, Gene's saying it's timing based. That's what it looks like. It looks like Mario 3's slot machine, where if you're good at it...
It looks miserable, but it looks like it's timing.
Yeah, it's miserable, so it looks like Mario 3's slot machine. Where you try and match up the faces.
For a second there, the bar started going down, and I was thinking, are you actually supposed to fail this one? But looked like it just took a second to get the rhythm going. This is another opportunity for the hustle time meter to be built up too. Which is good, because if I remember, this is the level where we're saving these bullets for final boss that can freeze himself for a really long time. Yeah, this guy.
Yeah, well, that's into him. I feel like there was a trick there. I remember watching it to keep him from doing iframes. I'm checking out the Discord here.
All of the boss fights really do seem to be designed to take forever, and I think one of the really fascinating things about this speedrun has been just save most of your hustle time for boss encounters and then fight them way faster than the game intends you to.
You know, Finn is saying in here, and I don't think he's posted it yet, that's why I didn't see it, that he has beaten 38 minutes already. In fact, exactly 10 minutes faster than the old world record at 37 seconds. So I don't have that video yet. It's probably on his channel, I should have checked. But we're watching the second best PB of his runs. So he actually has one that's 40 seconds faster than this. But I'm gonna have to look at it later.
If it hasn't been improved since, until 2 weeks from now, then I guess that's the one we'll be watching.
Yeah.
So no repeats.
He's bragging about how well baseball went on that run. So yeah, I think baseball is one of the the big issue where you finish your run and you go back and leave comments, and the thing you talk about is probably the hardest thing usually. So baseball. Baseball. First time hands in stage 3. We just saw that. It was the tunnel where you have to do an all your buttons event thing.
Right.
Pushing that through perfectly saves some time.
Okay. Yeah, those all button events, it seems like if you can get the rhythm going faster, then you don't have to make up the lost ground you start with.
Yeah. So these bullets are pickup. They are tremendously good. I'm seeing him drag to the boss with them. Definitely want to pick those up. Here's another button event. That was really quick.
I wonder what's the difference between, you know, the bar rising slowly and the bar rising fast. I wonder how you can manipulate that better.
Okay, so the boss, the tech I was looking for, where he goes immune and fires lasers, if you're below him on the incline, he doesn't hit you with it, and that's why he can just shoot him to death. So that is that boss. This is the boss that heals. I'm curious how this one works.
Yeah, it looks like perhaps the dash attack had prevented boss from being able to actually get away initially.
More hustle. Didn't get
hustle for the hustle gods.
So we tried to heal twice, only got a 30% of his HP back, and now you killed boss. Gene's saying there's a way to dodge the heal, but they haven't worked it out yet. That's interesting. That healing probably added up to about 10 seconds with him walking to the other side and all that.
Yeah, it's interesting. It really feels like it's unblockable, but Gene is saying that it can be avoided, which is strange to think.
Don't worry, folks. They play the jingle at the end, I'm pretty sure. We'll hear the whole thing one more time in this run. It's annoying that it doesn't play it. It bothers me every time. It just gets under my skin that they interrupt it, but they have to. They have to get going. They'd lose 10 seconds. I would lose 10 seconds every time we're in this because I would never stop it. I think there's a mistake in this section, but it might be the world record I'm looking at. I think it is this one though. There's a mistake in the minecart section. It costs a little bit of time. The minecarts are still dreadful, but what are you gonna do? So I imagine most of the RNG in this, I was talking about enemy actions, a lot of them can block and just not take damage. That's something most of them seem like they can do pretty frequently, so if they're doing that a lot, I bet that eats up a lot of time. I imagine that is what the RNG is in this game.
Yeah, it's interesting how much more there is to know. I mean, this game is pretty wacky, and there's a lot of combos and things, but I would not imagine that there's a stone left unturned, but at this point, the fact that there's still questions that need answering is kind of wild.
Yeah. I put the chat over the video so I can make it bigger again. There we go. That's why I shrunk it in the first place. Well, I don't know if we're just lucky, if you guys are just way too good at games, but it seems like we picked another winner with Ryzen Zan. This record is way better. This isn't even the world record anymore, and it's so much faster. It's like 30% off of the time that was the world record before. That's ridiculous, because it was a deathless, just good run. It was pretty optimized for what it was. I knew that
already had some really good ideas in it too. I mean, some of the strats in it were the good strats.
Yeah, I knew there were mistakes.
But there was just still more to know.
I was wondering if sub 40 in this game was possible. It seems like sub 38 has happened already. So it's more than that. It's like, can you get to 35 minutes in this game with a perfect run? Is that what a task could achieve?
Yeah, I don't know. This game is really sharp though, and I'm interested in seeing if we do see that sub 35, just because apparently there's more to be discovered. Apparently, I mean it's the healing phase on the stage 4 boss, and I'm certain there's still more to come.
Yeah, I don't know Bubbles Del Fuego, but it looks like to me that they're an established runner who has a lot of records.
Yeah, Bubbles is a really well-known Fallout speedrunner, if I'm not mistaken.
I sent him the tweet of one of the runs that beat the world record a week ago, and he liked it. He was happy to see it, it seemed like. Everyone likes a challenge in the community, I think. What is that? Is that a hand? I don't think I noticed that before. It looks like the Smash Brothers movie.
Fight Master Hand.
Yeah. Interesting. I think the mistake that was made here is right here. This is probably it. You missed the turn, you just don't get the loop. I think that sign was meant to be shot or something like that. Maybe that one. So you're stuck in this tunnel when you don't want to be for another loop or so, and it's gonna eat like 10 seconds. I'm pretty sure that was it. So that's... We're at the point where we consider that a big error.
Right. Well, this makes me just excited to see the actual world record in a few weeks, be it the existing one or whatever the new one might be.
Mm-hmm. Ben is saying that they're satisfied with that and they're putting the game to bed. They've said that before and went back and beaten their old times,
yeah.
But 37 is what he's saying it is.
I've heard that before.
Boss.
Hustle time.
I'm interested in this boss because it is one of the ones I feel like blocks a lot, but it looks like he's got a sequence to his blocking. The players are not having any trouble at all surviving, it looks like, too. Like, half a bar of health left after this nasty stage. It just keeps on going. This one is one of the first ones that really shuts players down.
Easy. Or rather, at least makes it look easy.
Yeah. If the game were as easy as it looks here, I would recommend it to everybody. It's challenging so much that I don't really tell anybody about it, unless they're really into action games. Because it's just ridiculously hard. I like its everything, except for the difficulty and the checkpointing. When you're good enough that you don't take any deaths, it looks really fun. I'm not at that point myself.
It's offensive to me, cutting off the jingle.
It hurts. The camera is dreadful in this game. Camera in this type of game is a new idea, and it's not there yet. So I've seen many people complain about the camera in this game. Getting control of it is part of this challenge here.
Yeah, that's a really common complaint is, or especially for a reason why they might not want to attempt it, is just because the camera's the most frustrating part. And admittedly, it can be very obnoxious to have to deal with something that shouldn't be working against you that much. That's a big frustration in 3D games.
Yeah. Controls mean a lot. That's definitely... It's that and checkpointing that make this game rough. If you take a death in this game, you're going back to the start of whatever level you were on, and they are so long, and mercilessly long, too. They don't give you health back very much. Gotta save the naked cowboy. I think this is an instance of Zelda style, kill every enemy before the door opens, trouble. Got the bullets?
Got the bullets, that's what we came for.
Yeah. These two fellas, dead already. The bullets make sure work at them, and you just have some extra ones. I think it's important that you don't mess with those. You're gonna need all the damage you can get on the boss. These things, they just take forever. They fly, they don't come down, and they have a bunch of iframes. Those enemies.
Sure. Well, it seems to be obvious that that's the reason why Finn chose to use those bullets on those enemies. Otherwise, you'd save them for a boss.
Yeah. They are time sinks, and so is this guy, in my opinion.
That obnoxious.
I hate this guy. He's using hustle time on this one, and I understand that. This guy, you were complaining about this dude. This is the dude who's in level 2.
Yeah, he just blocks constantly. It's the worst.
We're seeing that here, yeah. Gotta wait for him to decide to swing. He's finally dead. Hustle time, and then 10 more seconds to kill that one jerk. And I think the last of the bullets were used on him too. All but a bit.
This game is so cheesy in a good way.
Got him.
I have no complaints about how hokey this game is. It's fantastic.
Hustle time with the regular gun now to kill more flying enemies. These ones are a little different than the other ones though. I don't think these ones block at all.
I'm not sure we see an instance of hustle time used for just the gun combo.
Are those missiles that he got for his gun there? I don't think I've ever seen those before. There's 3 of them.
We saw those in an earlier level. I think they're just like incendiary rounds or explosives of some sort.
Oh, they're used.
Yeah, they're gone.
Instantly gone, all 3 of them.
It looks like using the gun combo with hustle time actually makes hustle time deplete more slowly.
I think that is somehow how hustle time works. Doing damage makes it extend a little longer. I think it's something like that. I don't remember exactly how the mechanics on that work, but there is a way to build up hustle time and also keep it going a little bit longer. Pretty sure. Next. Is this level 7? Yes, this is the dreadful one, I think. This is
the bad one right here.
Yeah, I think this is where they find out if the run is good or not, for the most part.
It's good you only have to wait till level 7 for that.
Yeah.
And it starts with an all-button event, too.
A weird one that I don't understand. It's done, though. Let's not worry about that. So here's where we're going to run into slots, which I identified. It was one of the things that made me think that the world record could be beaten. Not a perfect performance on the slots in the world record. It took a couple of tries.
Sure.
When Gene and Finn were racing this, the slots messed them both up. Gene lost a lot of time to the slots and barely won that race because of them. Just racing on through there, not messing around with platforms. Electricity don't even hurt, it looks like. No health was lost. This is interesting. Get them to corner themselves. The spinning guys.
Oh, that is really interesting.
Then they don't evade the instant kill sword swing.
They look like they'd be miserable to fight normally.
They look like they're miserable anyway.
Yeah.
They just look. They knocked down 5 times with these jugs. I think this one is probably a frustration for the runner here. This probably is not what they wanted to happen at all.
Yeah, finding a better solution for a fight like this is probably would make a huge difference.
That seemed like a pain. Here's the baseball. You need to hit those 3 targets, I think, is the goal here, right? And it doesn't look like it controls well at all. And it looks like he throws different pitches, too. Three bullseyes. Was the first one a miss? It looks like the center
You can
is...
see on the display at the bottom, it shows like what target it's gonna hit. That looks still impossible.
Yes. It's so fast! It's ridiculous. Less than a second, and somewhere in there you have to press the button at the right time. Yeah, I think the first one on that was a miss. I thought he had to hit all 3 targets. But what you actually have to do is, it looks like hit the center over and over again. So there was one missed shot in there, which is damn good. Here comes slots up the road. Slots are the other thing that is
So
also
it's offering this level as well.
coming
This
up.
game's miserable.
Here they are. One try. Door open. Perfect slots. Great. So that was definitely timing based, unquestionably. That was done perfectly. That room was gold. Here's the boss. Who blocks for 100 years. Just, what's he doing? What's this boss up to? Wasting all of our hustle time is what he's doing. He's doing it again.
Not even for a good reason.
Yeah. That sucks. Nice boss.
It feels like enemies like this are just designed to eat the hustle time.
He's blocking. We only have 1 level left, and then level 9 is sort of a couple boss fights and a very short walk. It's the next shortest level in the game after level 2. But the bosses are real rough. I had a hard time with them. I think the runners have them under control at this point, though. This boss sucks. This boss is dreadful. Also, he's got just a little bit left. Missed. That's stage 7.
Jeez.
There's a lot going on in stage 7. You have the annoying blade spinning enemies that it looked like there were 15 of them. They knocked Finn down here 5 or 6 times. You have the baseball that was done almost perfectly here, and the slots that was done perfectly, and then that boss, which I don't know if there's a way to get him to stop blocking or not. If that was just bad luck on the boss fight, maybe. He seems like one of the worst time-eating bosses there is too. So level 7, just being removed from the game would improve it a lot. Just if there was a way.
Just delete the whole level, and this game might be good.
Yeah, that level is bad. I mean, the baseball thing is fun, but for a runner, I'd probably hate to see that.
Well, it works really well for a game that doesn't take itself too seriously, but yeah, just like you said, having that in a speedrun is miserable.
This boss is trying to block, but it doesn't seem like it's working for him very well, compared to the last boss, who really played it on thick with not taking damage. This level isn't terribly long. 7 is definitely the longest in the game. Here's some bullets. What do you think of the play aesthetic going on?
Oh, I really like it. I actually think that the aesthetics for this level in particular are probably one of the best ones.
Yeah, they really nailed the style here. Another one of these. When do those bullets get used is what I'm going to be watching for here. Hustle time, always. And if they have bullets, they're very careful with the bullets. You use them at exactly the right point in these runs. It's my interpretation of this. They're too good to waste. But if you have them, you can't use the gun anymore because you want to save them. So they're used there after the boss iframes go away.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest problem with these bullets is that they're not everywhere. You have to pick them up, and then you either have to make the choice to not use the gun at all, or you're using the bullets, so...
I expect hustle time will be used here too. But looks like maybe not. It's fighting these two slow guys at the same time. Their health bars in the top right, so you can see just how long they actually take this time. Still at full health in this level.
That's impressive. That's impressive to know the enemy's patterns well enough to not take damage.
The food item that was in the hall before this would give you half the life bars back. Only half, and I think that's a big problem for a normal player. I think this is the boss who, yeah, if you're off the angle, this is what I was talking about earlier. You can just shoot them to death. They can't hit you with the beam because of the steps. So this boss is this easy. A freebie.
Yeah, no kidding.
Moving forward. A little bit left here on level 8. I think this is getting close to the final boss here. This button event. Return the stage. Yeah, just use your machine gun pistol. It's fine. This guy with the Masamune over here is trying to take you down.
I mean, your sword's as long as this is.
Yeah, that's true.
I love that hustle time actually makes your sword bigger. That guy really looks like he should be a boss, but he's not.
Mm-hmm. Every boss fight in this feels like the end of the level, and it just kind of, it doesn't end either. This is the real boss, and you have to do a thing with the bombs.
Yeah, you have to hit
here.
the war drums. Yeah.
That weakens him, takes away his iframes, and now you can do damage. And he's gonna get more drums, and it happens again. He's inspired by music. He's doing a thing where he sticks his head into the ground and it comes through the floor at you, so you have to keep moving. He also fires a couple bullets at you. All in all, this boss is not dangerous.
Seems time consuming though. You only get through a very small percentage of the bar before the war drums come back and you have to repeat.
Yeah. Using the right combo on these drums wipes it out pretty fast. It is a long boss though. They have hustle time, I think that's what... They have level 1 of hustle time in the top left, so I'm expecting them to use it soon. Here it is. And they one cycle it from here. Yeah, okay, that's why. They want to do 2 cycles at once with hustle time. That's the ticket. Level 8 done.
Chat wants a rising Zan button.
Do I have to sing it?
No, probably for your channel points.
Five minutes on that stage. Last one.
So this is Ninth Impact.
And we're going to get it done in 4 minutes, including load times from here.
Wow. This was just a variety of boss fights, right? This was just like four boss battles in a row.
Yeah, I mean, so was level 8, but this one really feels like that. There's not much else. There's these straw guys, guns, health, and then a boss. Repeated 4 times, roughly. Something like that. I don't really like this level. It's just this aesthetic the whole time. It's pretty boring compared to the other ones. Lots of blocking going on. This enemy doesn't look like he's cooperating.
Just not having it.
Boss.
I actually like the aesthetic in this level.
It's just...
I mean, I like the previous one more, but...
I just don't change it any. It's just this the whole time. There's no baseball or all-time event where you're flying towards a flamethrower. There's nothing wacky in this stage. It looks like a regular endgame level. And for
Sure.
Rising Zan, that is a little depressing.
The final level should have happened on the moon.
In a tornado. I just
Inside of a tornado. Absolutely.
took a question about, I think it was, what's that stupid 3D game on Sega that nobody likes? The Orb game. Can't remember its name because I also don't like it. But they had a stage where you fought in a tornado. That's why it's in my head. Vector Man, that's it. Here's a robot version of the boss we just beat. This time being used on him. And it looks like it's because he just iframes so much that you want to optimize every swing you get on him. It's the charge attack as much as you can. When he opens up, charge attack. That's what I'm seeing here. And there's not done yet. We still got more level.
I was about to say, I think there's still 1 or 2 bosses left.
Yeah. Well, in 2 weeks, Author Blues, it's your turn to pick.
Oh, goodness.
You have to beat
pressure's
Rising
on
Zan.
again.
Yeah, you're gonna have to take Rising Zan down with an equally good game.
I'm not prepared for that kind of pressure.
I believe this is the final boss. Pretty sure. Time. No, wait. You have to throw this boss. He's not dead yet. It's this boss again. He just doesn't die. That's right. He's coming in again after you throw him, I think. Yeah, you throw him into this room and fight him again, and then you've beaten the game. Then it's time. That's what I remember from the race.
There's a lot of boss fights in this level.
There's so many that I'm confused on where the ending is, and I should know that. I've seen it, I've done it myself, and I'm still like, is this it? Trying to use that gun.
Hey, the hustle time with the gun seems really good. I don't blame him.
No iframes on this boss. He's just coming at you, so you have to get your chance. There you go. Time. I think the time ends once you hear the sword slice here. Right there. So, is that when they cut time? They're probably going off the old world record whenever they stop the clock. Well, this record's already null and void, it sounds like. We saved a minute off of it already. So we might be watching that one sometime next couple weeks here. We're going to have another race next week, folks. If you're interested in joining, I'd like to do one. We can watch the end.
You don't have to have the world record to participate in the race. We want all sorts of people to participate as well.
Yeah. There you go. I'm really bad at reading subs that come in on Sunday during these shows. I don't even have the alerts on during this one, but I appreciate them all the same. Thanks a lot, everybody, for supporting my show and funding this and the bits and the subs. They mean a lot to me. Thanks a lot. Just because I'm not reading them don't mean I don't see them. I surely appreciate them. I'm better at it during other days of the week, to be honest, but I mean, any day is just as good as the others. Here's the good ending.
My name isn't Johnny. It's the super ultra sexy hero, Zack.
My name's not Shane.
Well, there's a horse. It's horse-shaped. It's not really a horse. It's like the muscles of a horse without the skin.
It invokes a horse idea. It is the ambulatory embodiment of the concept of a horse.
Well, that's what we got this week.
That was fun.
Yeah, that was a fun record to watch. It's a fun game, and I think mastering.
I got my work cut out for me to find something that keeps up with that.
Yeah, I've been meaning to look into Rising Zan better. I'm glad that it worked out. I was afraid of this one. I definitely looked at this game a couple of times to determine if I thought it was playable or not. Enough to speedrun, and I watched the world record run, and I was having a hard time finding a better game than Rising Zan, and I'm glad I picked it. I think it was a good choice.
Yeah, I think it all worked out.
They're getting it real good. 37 minutes now is what I hear. I'll have to check into that, but that's what is being alleged in the Discord there.
And maybe we'll see that come down even further in the next 2 weeks. Remember, next week we're having races, so if you've been considering jumping in on this game, hey, you got a week, mess around with it a little bit, see if you have some fun with it. If you do, finish for a race next week. All skill levels are welcome. We want to have 4. That's the goal always. So don't be afraid to jump in. We'll have some fun with it.
I absolutely love having 4 people race. Blind races are my favorite thing. Speedrun races are all well and good, and I will be thrilled if Genie and Finn show up to do a really good race on top of having 2 people who've never played it before run. That's my dream. I love hosting that kind of stuff. I host blind races all the time, or at least I used to. I did a big mega thread of them. So this is the place to go for that kind of content. If you want to see people play games they don't even know what they are and they don't finish them after 2.5 hours and they all insult the game after they're done, I got the content for you. That's what we do. So that's all I've got for this week, and we'll see you on next week for that race if we can pull it off.
Bye, everybody.